1 2 1 2 1 2 D's POV on the I can't get out, trying to get outside of the game, but we're gonna make it work. Now Loas has been whipping my ass since I got here, and trying to get out. The bus station, I thought it was open 24/7, but apparently it's not, and I missed my last stop going to or getting out of Vientiane. I'm thinking between Bangkok and between Bangkok and Kunming, because I fucked myself over with when I broke this phone, fucked myself over, because I had to trade in. I don't know, it's just I don't know. I think the main thing is that I came to Laos with not a whole lot of funds. The goal was to just chill out, wait on something to kick in, and then go to China that way. But between me breaking my phone and just navigating, I just got into a real dicey situation. Now, when I broke this phone initially, because I had this phone and my iPhone 15. When I broke this phone, they basically said it was 3 million, and I don't know, just anywho, stuck in Laos for another day. Got about 12 hours to spare. I'm not too far away from the train station. And it's the capital city too, Laos. Things are pretty slow here. It's like, how would I describe it? It's like if the American South was communist. You get a slow, kind of rednecky, rural, pickup truck, down south sort of feel. At least I do in Vientiane. Just imagine that, but just with a lot more communism. That's pretty much the vibe you get. I'm close by the train station, so I guess the goal is to find either an internet cafe, chill out for a little while, then just go from there. What I was saying, this is not exactly beginner friendly, at least on my end, because initially when I came here, they gave me an eSIM card, but it didn't have a number, it just had data. And with the iPhone, with my iPhone 15 I had, it was eSIM only. It was, I have eSIM only on the 15. They don't have any of that. So when I broke this phone, I basically was scrambling around trying to use Wi-Fi, and I just got lost in a lot of communication, let's say. So I had to trade that in, to get a little funds. And between that, buying this phone again, the quality has, lowered a bit. I still have videos coming on the way, but I don't know, I gotta work on at least getting a GoPro or a better camera. You know what I mean? Because this is gonna cut it. This is like a four-year-old phone. You know, I mean, it's good in daytime, but at night it's terrible. So I'm gonna need to fix that. But I mean, for now, I'm just gonna have to just roll with the punches. Yeah, getting transportation here, there's really, you know, outside of the rideshare app, which I think is called Local, which I heard you can get good deals on Local, because you know the Lao Kip is, you know, stretches further than even the Thai baht. Thing about it is, like I said, I didn't get a phone number, just data. So, and I think, yeah, you need a phone number to get on Local. So for now, I gotta catch transportation the old school way, just flagging down a cab or flagging down a tuk-tuk. Now tuk-tuks, you know, it's interesting because tuk-tuk drivers are pretty much the same as Thailand. You know, they're gonna jack up the prices and stuff like that. You're gonna have to really negotiate. I avoid tuk-tuk drivers at all costs and just go with taxi drivers. Getting around a taxi is it's not that bad. It's about anywhere from, you know what, taxis, yeah, anywhere from about 70,000 kip to about like 150 max. But even then, that's like 70 to 100,000 kip is, you know, the normal price for catching taxis. Motorbike, like transportation and motorbikes aren't really a thing like that. It's basically, you know, taxis and or tuk-tuks. And yeah, no public transportation, no buses, no anything like that. And I don't know, for a capital city, things are, I would say, pretty slow. Like even nightlife, it's nothing compared. I mean, I guess it has its own charm in a way, but it's, yeah, well, I mean, of course, I mean, I didn't go into it thinking it was like Thailand, but yeah, I mean, you know, fun, you know, quotas, you know, are, you know, lower here than Thailand for sure, but I don't know, the action is just, everything, I don't know if I came on a bad week, but everything was pretty slow, pretty boring, you know. Even the weekends, like Saturdays and Fridays, things close early. It's like the South, like things close, like even clubs like close by like 11, 12, you know what I mean? It's not like, you know, it's a different vibe here. You know, it's not like Pattaya or, you know, Bangkok or anything like that. It's, you know, things, especially when it comes to like nightlife stuff, red light stuff, it's a lot more low key, a lot more minded, you know, not all, but a good deal of these spots are, you know, Chinese ran, so it's kind of that thing too. There's a different vibe here, you know. Interesting. There is, like I said in the other video, there's definitely a Chinese influence for sure. But the local action, just the local atmosphere in general, it's interesting because Laotians or Lao people, it's very similar to northern Thailand, but with a heavier, for the obvious reasons, heavier, you know, Chinese influence. Not as strong. Well, I see Buddhism, you know, you see monks and stuff like that, but it's not as strong as Thailand. It's I guess it's its own thing. But yeah, last night in Vientiane, didn't really do much. I have a video coming up. I got into a few dicey situations. I tried to go to a few North Korean restaurants, and yeah, both experiences were, lackluster to say the least. I was turned away from one restaurant when I tried to go to a North Korean restaurant. The other time I tried to go to one, things got a lot more physical, let's just say. But that's coming up. That's coming up in an upcoming video. Laos is interesting because, it's heavily dependent on, Chinese dollar, China, things like that. So imports from stores, just getting items for stores are more expensive here. Getting around can be a little bit pricier too, because at least for me, I don't, the rideshare app, I don't have that, so I just have to rely on taxis and tuk-tuks. But as far as street food, especially for the portions you get a pretty good deal. And like a really good deal, to be honest. So yeah, street food is cheap. Housing is cheap. But a lot of other things are either the same price as Thailand, and to be honest, not a lot, but more expensive, like double the price, because, import tax and all that type of shit. Yeah, very interesting. Like I said, I ran into, a few dicey scenarios. Getting upcharged for the broken phone situation, and then when I sold, the iPhone, I got it at a lower rate. But the thing about, iPhones, at least in my case, when I try to, sell it, they didn't accept eSIMs, because eSIMs are not a thing at all. It's strictly SIM cards, in Laos. It's not as advanced as Thailand in that regard. So everything is, it's a strong cash-based society. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's strong cash-based society, heavy sense of community, strong sense of community. I mean, the communism influence is, obviously very strong. Chinese influence, obviously very strong. I pretty much feel like I am in China when I go to some places. The girls here are, I don't know, at least with me, because, everybody has, I can't say my experience is going to be your experience, but from my experience, yeah, very, very shy. Some can be a little bit standoffish. You have to, it's people talk about, tradition this, tradition that, I remember last year when the passport, at least, the rhetoric, come to Southeast Asia, they're traditional. Well, Laotian women are very traditional, and traditionally, women of, pretty much were shy, kept themselves, and stuck to their own men for the most part, which is, a pretty similar vibe, at least on the local swing of things. So yeah, very traditional, very conservative, kinda. It's a mix. Well, Southeast Asia in general is a mixed bag, because it does have its conservatism. Then at the same time, you see, like, in the center of town at night, you see, like, trannies and like rainbow bars and stuff like that. So I'm like, is it that traditional? But I mean, outside, I guess, the center, the center part of town, that attracts the main tourists, you know what I mean? Like the center part of town, which I'm obviously not at the center. yeah, you're gonna see a lot more westernized, a lot more progressive per se, a lot more, you know, I guess tourist friendly things. But outside of the center, things, you know, are a little bit rougher, are a little bit, not a lot more local, concentrated. You're not gonna come across a whole lot of people that speak Lao, so it kind of forces you to at least learn the basics, you know what I mean? Because the younger ones, younger Laotians, well, you know, everyone has a smartphone nowadays. It doesn't matter first, second, or third world. But still, there's definitely a language barrier. There's also a cultural barrier as well. Because Laotians, for the most part, especially local Laotians, they're kind of live and let live, keep to themselves, you know, sort of people. So it's harder to break in. You really have to, how would I say? You really have to not just ingratiate yourself, but you really have to, you know, put yourself out there in that regard. Same for the women, you know. For the women, definitely there. I mean, you know, red light action, chick action, that's universal. It's the same game everywhere. But here, since things are a lot more slower, a lot more conservative, you're just gonna have to go for what you want and pretty much be bossy, or just, you know, just go for it, you know what I mean? Just be straight up. But yeah, bar scene. The bar scene is okay. I mean, of course, like I said, I wasn't expecting Pattaya level or Bangkok level. But I mean, for the price, it's decent. And like I said, the quota, and I'll explain this in my upcoming video. But let's just say the friendship quota from chicks are between 600 to 900,000, depending on where you're at, depending on the chick, depending on, you know, varying factors. So, you know, just a note there. But yeah, things are, I don't know, like I said, I ran into a few dicey situations. I came here when the funds weren't the best, so, you know, I fucked myself over in some regard, well, in a lot of regards. Backed myself into a few corners, but I got myself out. And now it's on to the next adventure. But yeah, Laos is, there's not, in my opinion, there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, of course you got, I don't know, if you're like a backpacker and want to, like, you know, go to Buddhist temples and, you know, go climb mountains and stuff like that, I guess this is a good appeal, Laos. But, and I mean, and it's cheap, I'll give it that. Laos is cheap. But as far as excitement, action, it's a lot more reserved. Like I said, a stronger military influence too. You don't see them now, but you pretty much, in the daytime, on pretty much every corner, there's military officers, you know, brandishing, you know, rifles and things of that nature. You see, you know, government workers walking about everywhere. So, you know, the strong government, communist influence is, you know, pretty much in your face. You know, military influence, all that type of stuff. In certain places, when I have an upcoming nighttime video, you'll see potholes where, you know, bombings from Vietnam were, because, you know, this was, especially where I'm at right now, was the most bombed area, not only in the world but also during the Vietnam War. So, you know, a lot to take in that factor as well. But as far as like interacting with other tourists, I didn't really do that. I just more or less interacted with locals, Chinese, just really got, just, when I go to a place, I want to almost become native, you know what I mean? Just really tap into their psychology and adapt to it the best way I can. I know, obviously, I'm different, you know what I mean? So I'll never be seen as a local for, for obvious reasons, but still, it doesn't hurt to, if I can't blend in physically, I can at least blend in mentally, you know what I mean? Which I think I did a good job at doing. But yeah, so the train station is closed. Still got a lot to think about because China, from here to Kunming, it's a 9-hour journey. A single entry visa to China is $140. You get a 10-year $50, which is a good too. So I'm juggling. You know what? I gotta commit because I said I was gonna go to China. Commit to it. I really gotta buckle down the you know what I mean, on the funds and all that type of stuff. But I don't know, China is gonna be interesting because I get a taste of it now, but I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be a different animal. Because compared to Laotians, when it comes to interacting with Chinese, older generations especially, but a lot more aggressive, a lot more, outgoing, aggressive, assertive. So, when I get there, I'm gonna have to adapt and, adapt to that way of living and that psychology as well. So I don't know, it's gonna be an interesting adventure regardless. But yeah, just a quick update. These POV are still alive, still kicking. Got my ass handed to me when I broke my phone. Made myself a good mark. Got a little money off the phone and got this shit back. But the quality, like I said, the quality isn't there, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm gonna try to make the best of it, or I'm gonna make the best of it. And yeah, upcoming video, upcoming reports, all that type of stuff. So stay tuned. And here's the thing, I gotta do more than talking, but I gotta incorporate more chicks into the but girls are really, the bars I went to, like, they don't really, I don't know when I pointed at them, but I don't know, regardless though, gotta do more street action, more chick action. Like I said, lower quality, obviously, but still trying to make the best of it. And yeah, I mean, it comes with the territory. I mean, you win some, you lose some, you get into situations. I gotta just appreciate, I'm alive and kicking. Got a little money in my pocket, you know what I mean? Just gotta keep at it. Really, it's just the content at this point. Gotta really work it now, you know what I mean? Gotta really work on my editing. Yeah, but I don't know. The part of me go to China would take more of a hit financially. that visa and the train ride. I mean, I'm gonna take like a 2 hit. But there's a lot of content to film, but you know, I would have to really stick to a certain formula, or I can go to Thailand because I had a decent amount. I can go to Thailand. I have less days on my visa, but go to Thailand, go to Pattaya, go to bars, and really do what I did with because you know it's all about chicks. You know what I mean? It's all about, you know, it's all about views, all about chicks. You know, that's what gets the most views. So just going to bars, doing bar interviews with chicks, and just getting them comfortable enough, you know, to talk and engage. You know what I mean? But it's gonna take some time, gonna take some bread, and it's gonna take a lot of not ass kissing, but a lot of, you know, smoothing out to get them comfortable. You know what I mean? At least allow, because you know the chicks here are, at least with me, you know, I don't know how it is with others, but you know, very shy, very, you know, camera shy, don't really want to talk like that. A little bit standoffish, but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna stop repeating myself. This is just a quick update. D's POV on his way out of Laos. I mean, Laos is cool, but you know, gotta get out of here, man. Gotta get out of here, and yeah, I got some content to come. Took some hits, you know, but on the way to make some hits. So, like, comment, subscribe to whoever's watching or whoever's gonna watch.